DC News Now at 4.
Make America great again.
President Donald Trump sworn into office once again, and he's making big promises on day one. We're bringing you live team coverage from Capitol Hill to Capital One Arena.
Arctic air is here to stay through the middle of the week. We'll let you know how low air temps and wind chills will get tonight.
Feeling like 1991 again, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely it is. Plus, Commanders fans go wild after another playoff win over the weekend. Reaction and what's next for the team.
Then the D.C. region honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on this MLK Day. The events happening all from Maryland to D.C.
It makes me feel so grateful.
And later, here's this week's DMV Doer. Hear how a local Air Force veterans' help is being used for good.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Well, President-elect no longer, Donald Trump has now been sworn in as the 47th President of the United States. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall.
And good afternoon. I'm Elisa Gale. It's a historic day in Washington as Trump officially takes office now for the second time. The new president promising to clamp down on border crossings, ramp up fossil fuel development, and end diversity and inclusion programs across the federal government. Now declaring the golden age of America begins right now.
This day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
And we have live team coverage today. Mario Carbone, Liberty Simmons are standing by in Northwest Washington, and we're going to hear from Washington correspondent Hannah Brandt shortly.
Yes, but we're tracking the cold temps right now in the DMV. This is a live look at the National Cathedral here. Yeah, if you're out there, you definitely want to bundle up, Mark.
Let's head over to meteorologist Damon Matz with the first look at the forecast. Damon, a cold Inauguration Day.
Sure is, Mark and Annalisa, and it's actually one for the record books as one of the coldest ever on it, the history books here. And here we have it again, the top 5 coldest inaugurations today. The 5th coldest, the temperature at noon, 27 degrees. Now that pales in comparison to the coldest ever when Ronald Reagan was sworn in 1985. It was only 7 degrees. So it didn't get quite that cold, but my goodness, these temperatures are noticeable. And unfortunately here, folks, we are stuck with this Arctic air as we go over the next few days. It's been cold and it's also been blustery today. So it's not only about that air temperature. How about it feels like right now in DC of just 12 degrees. These wind chill numbers, they've been dropping steadily throughout the day. It feels like it's in the single digits up in Frederick, Hagerstown, Martinsburg, and that wind chill is already below 0 once you make it out to Western Maryland and West Virginia. -1 there in Cumberland and Kaiser. So we're going to continue to see these numbers on the decline. Now, the wind is expected to let up as we head into the overnight hours, but there's still going to be about a 5 to 10 mile per hour wind going, and that is more than enough to make these temperatures in the teens feel much more like we're right around 0 degrees. So we'll talk about how low those wind chills and temperatures will get tonight, and we'll talk about when we could finally snap out of this Arctic blast. Coming up, and a look at your full forecast here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. And to stay on top of the weather, you can scan the QR code on your screen. It'll take you straight to the weather section of our website, dcnewsnow.com, and there you'll find the latest forecast, winter weather warnings, and radar to plan your day.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
All right, back to President Donald Trump's inauguration. Now, Trump and now Vice President J.D. Vance taking their oaths of office today. And we're now learning Trump plans to sign nearly 100 executive orders in front of an audience at Capital One Arena this evening.
And continuing our coverage of the inauguration, Washington correspondent Hannah Brandt joins us live at Capital One Arena.
Yeah, and Hannah, a victory parade is about to get underway there now. It moved into the arena because of this cold. What are you seeing right now?
Mark, Annalisa, yeah, that's right. This looks a lot different than we expected Inauguration Day to look. We were expecting a parade from the Capitol to White House. That's the tradition. But they've moved that, like the ceremony, indoors. Now it's all happening here. We've just heard from a series of speakers, people like Elon Musk, of course, Trump's billionaire friend, supporter, the owner of social media platform X. We heard from political activist Charlie Kirk, Congressman Byron Donalds, just a whole bunch of people who were ardent supporters of President Trump and who were part of his efforts out on the campaign trail. And they've been speaking to some of the strongest MAGA supporters here in this arena. Remember that there were about 250,000 people ticketed to attend the inauguration ceremony when it was scheduled to be on the National Mall. But here at Capital One Arena, the capacity is around 20,000 people. So a much smaller crowd than would have been out at that National Mall, presumably because of course, the very cold weather here in Washington, D.C. But this small crowd is weathering the storm from inside. They are not letting it dampen down their excitement. They have been excitedly cheering for hours now. Many of them have been here since very early this morning. We watched the inauguration ceremony from here, watched the swearing in from here, and of course now they're waiting for President Trump to arrive and speak to them directly. We're told that that could happen at any minute. He was scheduled to come here sometime after the luncheon at the Capitol, which just wrapped up a bit ago. So we are hoping he arrives here soon.
And Hannah, the president plans on signing nearly 100 executive orders at Capital One. What do some of those orders look like?
Yeah, Mark, that's right. If you look right behind me, you see the stage is set. And if you squint, you can probably make out right behind me, there's a desk and a chair there. That's where we're expecting to see President Trump sign those executive orders. Like you said, dozens and dozens of them, which is a really large number. We know that some of them will be related to what he's said is his top priority, and that's immigration. He says he plans to shut down the southern border and the crossings that are happening there. He wants to reinstate the Remain in Mexico immigration policy and immediately launch the mass deportations that he has been talking about for the better part of the past 2 years, starting with deportations of criminal immigrants, he says. We also know that another of his priorities that some of these executive orders will relate to is boosting energy production. He wants to open up new lands for drilling, some of them places that President Biden had signed executive orders prohibiting drilling on. So he's reversing those executive orders, also reversing some of the climate goals that President Biden set into motion. And another move that he's making is to claw back those diversity, equity, and inclusion policies that the federal government had implemented under the Biden administration. That's a major priority for this Trump administration as well. But like you said, about 100 executive orders. And to give you some context, President Biden in his first week in office signed 22 executive orders. And that's across the span, like I said, of a week. That was a record at the time. So President Trump really looking to supersede that record in a huge way here tonight.
All right, Hannah Brandt from Capital One Arena, thanks so much. Well, now former President Joe Biden is headed to California. He departed from Joint Base Andrews earlier in a send-off ceremony following Trump's swearing in. Biden thanking his now former staff members, telling them, "We're leaving office, but we're not leaving the fight."
Mark my words, history's going to judge what you've done as one of the most significant contributions that's been made by all of America. Look, folks, you know, let me close with that poem you heard me quote before. Seamus Haney wrote, "Once in a lifetime, the longed-for tidal wave of justice will rise up in hope and mystery rhyme. You made it rhyme louder than it's rhymed in a long time."
Biden's flight to California today is known as Special Air Mission 46 because Biden is once again a private citizen. That plane used the call sign of Air Force One when he was president and was aboard.
Meanwhile, thousands braved the bitter cold today, lining up outside of Capital One Arena for their chance to get in and see the president.
Yeah, DC News Now's Marielle Carbone joining us live with more on that. Good afternoon, Marielle. What are you seeing in terms of crowd size right now?
Well,
Annalise, it certainly looks a lot different than it did out here earlier today. Where we're at right now on G Street was filled with people heading towards these gates to line up and try and get inside. Obviously, the arena, as Hannah said, already filled with people, but those I spoke to waiting out here since 7, 8 a.m., they say it was worth it to be in the cold, just to have a chance to be a part of history. Outside Capital One Arena, supporters cheered as President Donald Trump took his oath of office. Many watching from their phones or on the big screen outside the building.
Yeah, I love it.
Atman Bhatt says he arrived downtown around 8 Monday morning, navigating long security lines for a chance to get close to the inaugural parade. Moved inside the arena because of the cold.
I'm sure now I'm going to miss a lot, but it's fine.
We had tickets to get in, but obviously those plans changed, but we would have come here anyway.
For Kelly Sabanya and her group, the bitter cold weather and last-minute changes to the inauguration didn't put a damper on their time in D.C.
The big question, still worth it to come in today, despite not being able to physically watch the inauguration?
100%.
Absolutely.
No matter what.
Regardless of like what they said the weather would have been, we wouldn't miss it I mean, this is history, so we just want to be a part of it.
We bundled up, we had gloves, everything, yes.
Bhawinder Singh Chatta, in from Virginia, says being in the cold with the rest of the crowd was worth it, even if he's only able to show his support from outside.
It is worth it, but this is history. History, he's the second time president, and he's the man, he will help the America to make it great again.
Yeah, and people out here today, they really took all the precautions. We saw people with the hand warmers, hats, earmuffs, even blankets wrapped around them walking through this area. Certainly going to want to have all of that winter gear with you later tonight if you're planning to still be out here celebrating or attending any of those other inaugural events. Live in Chinatown, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
Marielle, thank you. Well, most of downtown D.C. is blocked off today, so if you were thinking of driving in, you might want to think again. Now, if you must go, you'll want to be aware of quite a few metro closures. Pentagon Station is closed today, along with Archives and Gallery Place, Federal Triangle, and Mount Vernon Square. Union Station and Metro is open, but the actual building is closed from 5 p.m. to midnight, meaning that Amtrak, BRE, and MARC trains won't operate, and a lot of roads remain closed through tomorrow morning.
Also, Metro's limited edition President Trump Smart Trip cards have been sold out just hours before Trump took office. The Metro cards were introduced last week and were only available at 16 Metro stations.